ESPN sports business reporter Darren Ravel joins us now this morning. And Darren, Donald Sterling's attorneys have publicly said that Donald is not authorizing the sale. He's not going to give in. So how can this sale move forward?
Well, Kevin, as Ramona said, the trust sets out the opportunity that if a trustee is mentally incapacitated, to remove that trustee. And based on those terms, Shelley Sterling has proceeded with this sale. Now, as Ramona said, Donald Sterling can sue his own family trust, can sue the NBA. And we're not saying that won't happen, but, you know, it looks like based on the May 22nd letter that Donald Sterling gave to Shelley Sterling authorizing her for the sale, even though he came back and said he was going to fight the charges against the NBA, and now this that provides that he is removed as a trustee because he has been ruled mentally incapacitated, it looks like legally Donald Sterling might be in a tough position now if he comes back to fight.
Darren, hard to comprehend some of the numbers for a franchise that was really valued as the 13th highest franchise by Forbes back in January in the NBA. How did we get to a price tag of $2 billion here?
Well, I would say that for Steve Ballmer, this is a toy. It is not an investment. And I would also say that what Forbes is looking at, they're looking at the cash value, the cash flow. And I would say that potentially the Clippers really are worth, from a cash flow standpoint, from what they could be worth in terms of what they're generating, maybe $700 million. And that's why Steve Ballmer at $2 billion can probably never make money off the Clippers, even with a new TV deal on the horizon as far as the national TV deal is coming up with the NBA, even with the capacity to negotiate a new TV deal in a couple years for the Clippers. There is just no way, from everyone I've spoken to, that this is a rational deal. It's a rational deal for a guy who is worth $20 billion and really wants to become an NBA owner, and sees that in the last 4 or 5 years, a third of the NBA's teams have turned over. It's a guy who lost the Kings, wanted to bring it to Seattle. He really wants to be an owner and was willing to pay the price to do so.
Maybe the most expensive toy in sports history. So, you know, what would have been the price tag here, potentially, of the Clippers before the controversy of Sterling's racial comments?
I think the controversy did add something. There was kind of a buzz. I think that's why Oprah got involved. I feel like the guys that lost out, the David Geffen, Larry Ellison, the Lorraine Jobs was involved. Their group was worth about $70 billion in net worth. I think a lot of their bid was, we want to make this right. So I do think it did push it along. And people say, well, what does this make every other team now? I think this is truly an outlier. This is not because this is worth this, every other team is worth that. I will say, though, that the Buss family probably has to think long and hard now about not selling the Lakers, because there is a parallel with the Lakers. I think this does make the Lakers worth more than $3 billion. And I do think some of the lucky losers in this bid might go out and try to buy the Lakers if they do become available.
Wow. All right. Darren Ravel on the potential sale of the Clippers at $2 billion.